Hello YouTube, welcome back to KLA Sports. This is day 4 of Sportsmas. Now, I apologize for not being able to get this out on day 4, but I had a lot of homework. But I am back, so this is December 5th, so I'll be uploading day 4 and 5 today, or tonight. And yeah, as you can see, I actually had a football banquet, so I was wearing my shirt and tie. So yeah, this is the first episode where I actually look professional. But, yeah, we're just going to hop right into this. So this is day 4. And today we're going to be talking about the Panthers. So in case you guys haven't heard, Panthers have fired head coach Ron Rivera after 9 seasons with the team. Just some simple basic facts. Ron Rivera had a record of 76, 63, and 1 with the Carolina Panthers, as he led them to a 5-7 record this year. And also the Panthers have promoted offensive coordinator Perry Fewell as to the interim head coach position. And honestly, I feel like this is something that some people is like, I don't know. It's like some people saw it coming, but at the same time, it was like, oh, it's like shocking. Or maybe it's the other way around. Like people didn't see it coming, but it's like, oh, I'm not shocked. Because I'm not even going to lie. This kind of took me off guard. I was like, wow, they just fired Ron Rivera. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, it makes sense. So, yeah, and I was like, it just makes sense because it's time for the Panthers to move on, start rebuilding. And some possible head coach candidates I've thought of, or some of these I've seen online, some I've thought of. I saw somebody mention Urban Meyer, the former Ohio State coach. So I was like, that could be interesting. Have him leave down from Ohio State after the situation, and then to step up to the NFL level. That would be interesting to see. Also, Dan Quinn, the current head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, there's speculation that he might get fired after this year, which honestly I feel like maybe he should. Also, a name I've been hearing a lot for a lot of teams, like to be Dallas head coach if Jason Garrett's fired. Just a name I've been hearing a lot for NFL teams' next head coach is Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan Wolverines head coach. He has NFL experience. He used to coach the San Francisco 49ers, and he coached a good team. It's just they fell into a rebuilding stage, and they fired him, and now he's at Michigan. But he might not stay in Michigan for a while. Another coach, Jason Garrett of the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe they see potential in Garrett, and because to me, coaches certain coaches thrive better in certain situations. So maybe he's a better coach with the Panthers, but I feel like Jason Garrett will definitely be coaching next year, whether it's with the Cowboys or a different team. Another thing is Doug Marrone and Tom Coughlin for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I heard reports, or I saw on Bleacher Report, that NFL execs believe that Doug Marrone and Tom Coughlin could be out of Jacksonville after this year, but I heard they're keeping Nick Foles. So Doug Marrone, maybe Tom Coughlin wants to get back into coaching and takes the Panthers job. Another name I've heard is Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, and I could see that happening because I've seen his name in a lot of head coach positions, but I could see that happening. Maybe he's like, all right, Belichick, yeah, I've learned so much from him, and maybe he wants to take that to the next level and try and be the head coach. And this one I thought of, but I've also seen, is Mike McCarthy, the former head coach of the Green Bay Packers. No, he took a year off from coaching. He got fired last year, and he's not the coach, or he hasn't been coaching this year. Maybe the Panthers are like, hey, Mike McCarthy, we're willing to give you another chance, and then they sign him, and who knows, maybe he takes them further and does more with the team. So those are just some possible coaching candidates. And also Rivera, after he got fired, he did say, and I quote, "I will coach again." So Rivera believes that he'll definitely be coaching next year. And I could honestly, I could see Dallas and the Panthers like exchanging coaches. So Jason Garrett going to the Panthers and Ron Rivera going to the Cowboys. And after this, with Ron Rivera getting fired right now, what does this mean to other coaches? To me, I think this means Jason Garrett's next. I'm taking this as a sign. All right, Jason Garrett's definitely getting fired after this season. Some other possible coaches, like I said, Doug Marrone and Dan Quinn. Can't really think of any other coaches that might get fired. Maybe Freddie Kitchens. I don't know. Maybe maybe he's on the hot seat a little bit. I doubt it, but you never know what's going on. All right, that's it for the coaching side. Now that Ron Rivera's fired, what's next for the Panthers? Well, first of all, Cam Newton said he plans to undergo foot surgery, and they did say if he could be back in time for March workouts if surgery is done in December. And the Panthers do save $19 million in cap space if they trade Newton. So what I would do if I'm the GM and I'm looking at, all right, we fired the coach, what's the next move? I would honestly trade Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton's been a fan favorite, and I hate to see Cam Newton go like this. He's been one of my favorite players watching. He's been one of my favorite players to watch, favorite players to just like in general. But I think it's time to go. They get $19 million in cap space. They save $19 million in cap space. They can use that to sign some other free agents, like maybe some safety or linebacker on defense, or maybe some old lineman or another receiver. But yeah, I would trade Cam Newton. Now, the main rumor that we've all heard is Cam Newton to the Bears, and that's one of the two landing spots I've came up with. So the first landing spot is the Bears, which seems what he's been linked to the most, and he even said he's open to a trade with the Bears. But another team I could see him getting traded to is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, at first you're probably thinking like they're a division rival. Why would they do that? But it would make sense for the Bucs to at least call, because Jameis Winston's not getting it done, and he's in his contract year. So they could get Cam Newton and then wait for a quarterback next year or a couple years down the road. But I just thought of a thing. I just thought of that. But I do believe he will be a Chicago Bear in the 2020-21 season. Now, some possible trades I came up with two possible trades, or I'll say three. I'll just say I came up with a couple. So the first trade I came up with is the Panthers get Nick Kwiatkowski, middle linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski, and the Bears get quarterback Cam Newton. Another one, Panthers get middle linebacker Danny Trevathan, and the Bears get Cam Newton. Or they could do one of those players in a second-round pick, so like Kwiatkowski in the second round or Trevathan in the second round. Or they could just do the second round for Cam Newton. Now, if I'm the Bears, I would look at that. Now, they're probably not going to trade Kwiatkowski because he has had flashes this year. He looks like he's breaking out this year. But Trevathan, maybe you look at shopping Trevathan, or maybe give up a second-round pick. Maybe they don't have a first-round pick this year. Maybe a second-round pick next year or something. But yeah, if I'm the Bears, I'm definitely looking to try and trade for Cam Newton. Now, if I'm the Panthers, I'm gonna trade Cam Newton, and then when it comes draft time, with my first-round pick, I'm not gonna draft a quarterback. I'm gonna draft a receiver. I'm gonna draft a jump ball or like outside jump ball type receiver. So my main target, if I'm the Panthers, is gonna be T. Higgins. He has a nice big frame, like 6'4". He's good with the jump ball. He's great with the jump ball. You can throw it up to him. He can come down. He's going to come down with it 9 times out of 10. And honestly, he's good after the catch. He can run after the catch, and he can be the outside receiver. Because right now, their top 2 receiver. Well, Christian McCaffrey is their number 1 receiver. That's how I look at it. Now, DJ Moore, he's their number 1 receiver. I know I just said McCaffrey, but Moore is their number 1 receiver who is a receiver. McCaffrey's a nice dual threat, but you got DJ Moore on the outside, and then you got Curtis Samuel, as the number 2 receiver. And if I'm the Panthers, I feel Samuel is a better slot receiver. So I would draft T. Higgins, put him on the other side, put Samuels in the slot. Then you got Christian McCaffrey out the backfield, and you got Greg Olsen and Ian Thomas. There's your receiving core. Try to build around Kyle Allen next year, as he has shown potential, but he has kind of died down a little bit. So, I would give Kyle Allen another chance, and if he fails, or if it doesn't work out, you have Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields next year. And I would honestly, if I'm the Panthers and I'm looking, and like, say if I'm the Panthers and those two QBs are on the board while I'm selecting, I'm taking Justin Fields just to build after Cam Newton, that dual threat QB offense. So, yep, that is it for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. And, yeah, I will talk to you guys next time.